What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We are going to be taking a look at a Kaiser knife today. This is the Kaiser Sub 3 OBK. It's a bar lock knife, aluminum handles. This thing is pretty sweet. I really like this knife. I've had it for a couple days now, and yeah, I think it's going to be something that I will probably add to my collection eventually. But it's definitely not on the top of my list right now. There's too many knives out there to say that this is hitting the top of my list. So yeah, before we get too far, before we get too far into that, I want to go ahead and say thank you to anybody who's already liked and subscribed. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. You can also head over to Instagram and follow us at WorkKnifeBalance939. That's a great way to communicate with us. Let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you like, what you don't like, and all that good jazz. Without further ado, let's look at this knife here. So we've got a compact EDC Kaiser that is got aluminum scales, 14C28 ends, blade steel, and it's a bar lock. We'll do some measurements first, some side-by-side comparisons, and then we'll go into why I think this thing is pretty sweet. All right. Measurements overall, we are looking just over 7 inches. We'll say 7.15. For blade length, we're looking just under 3. We'll say 2.85 with the cutting edge about 2.75 there. So you definitely have a compact knife. I like the fact that this is a little smaller. It feels much bigger than it is. It doesn't feel as small as it is. Obviously, when you look at it, you can see it's a compact knife, but it definitely feels larger than that. Do some side-by-side comparisons. We got the Civivi Elementum button lock up top. We've got the Civivi Cubit down below, showing you some side-by-side comparisons there. We'll go ahead and pull out the Miguron Mayoral as well, put that up top. And then for the last one here, we'll go ahead and do another bar lock with the NAFS Lander 2, showing you some 4 fairly common knives to see some good side-by-side comparisons there. Just to give you a kind of idea and understanding of what this knife is going to compare to if you've got one of those in your collection. So yeah. Right off the bat, I will say I love the texturing that they did on these aluminum scales. It's kind of a matte finish, so you can see that. And if you've got one of the Kaiser chili peppers, this feels like that matte finish that they did to the aluminum chili peppers, which is really nice. And I like it because it gives you a little texturing as well as kind of, for lack of a better term, like murdered out the knife, blacked out the knife. Makes it feel really cool. I like the just sleekness of the knife. It looks good. You've got the nice black backspacer through here. You've got the black clip. The one thing I would have done different, and I would have done the same finish on the clip, but I will say I haven't carried this in pocket because I've been afraid that this is gonna just get all messed up pretty easily. I don't know how durable this finish is gonna be. You can already kind of see this is not from me, but there's a little mark right there. And yeah, so I'm assuming this finish isn't the most durable. Maybe it is, but I bet that's probably why they did the clip something else. Also, the clip is not aluminum, I don't think. I think the clip is just stainless steel. But yeah. Speaking of the clip, it is not reversible. It is one side carry only, so you can't put it over to the other side, but it does have recessed screws in there. Although the clip itself sits above the scales, it does have recessed screws, which is nice. And it is a deep carry clip with just a little mountaintop sticking over the edge right there. So ergos on the knife are fantastic. For a small knife, it fits well. If you've got extra large hands, it's probably going to be too small for you, just right off the bat, letting you know. I wear a size large glove. This fits well in my hand, but it fully fits in my hand. So there's no real choke up room at all with this because the blade comes really close there with just a small sharpening choil on it. You got to fit right in here and that's it. So it's probably going to be more of a three finger knife for most people, but it feels good. I like that they have this little ramp edge on the back side here, so you've got a nice little thumb ramp with some pretty sweet jimping as well. Let's see if we can get that in there. So you've got some nice jimping to have a good little anchor spot and grip there. You have thumb studs. You can, if you hold it correctly, get a nice reverse flick on that thumb stud. I never really love reverse flicks on bar locks because you have to be so aware of that bar, sometimes the reverse flick just doesn't work well. But this one, you've got a good anchor spot that you can get in there and reverse flick that out or thumb flick it up. So really solid knife through and through. Sleek lines, really good chamfered edges. So you have the chamfering all over the top here, or I guess this would be the center inner line. You have the chamfering all over the bottom here, and then if we flip it over, the top edges are chamfered here. They're not contoured scales, but they feel that way because of the chamfering, so it's really nice to hold in hand and just adds to those ergos. I will say the clip is a little big, kind of sticks up some, but not overly to where it's uncomfortable. I think it would be nice to have a slightly smaller clip. I like how long it is. I just wish it was not as big there. Even if they would have milled a little bit of spot for that clip to recess into the scale, that would have been like icing on the cake, because then it would have just rested in there a little bit better. And I think it would have just settled down enough to make it so it feels nice, a little bit more presentable in hand and put together. Yeah, I believe we already said this, but this is 154 cm, so this isn't 14C28, it's 154 cm. And see if we can zoom in on that, which is nice because you see a lot of 14C28. 154 cm is essentially RWL 34 as well, and it's a really nice, I would say, the best of the mid-grade steels are the worst of the high steels. That's where I put 154 cm. It's a really nice steel. I like it. There's some really good there's just a word that's in my head that I can't think of. Really good attributes? No. What am I trying to think of? Properties. There's really good properties to 154 cm. So you're going to be able to have a really nice edge retention. It's going to be it's going to be better than most budget steels, but not quite like a super premium steel. So it's a really nice thing about it. These do come in at about 90 bucks. They are available right now. You can get them on Amazon. As with a previous knife that we did a review on, I don't think it's worth it. This one I think 100% is worth the 90 bucks. I will say that. And Kaiser has been doing some really amazing things. They've been busting out some really good knives. They've been working with a lot of creators, a lot of designers, and they've just had lots of different styles and variations over the past 2 years that's kind of set them apart. So they're starting to do more and more in that budget line, more and more in that kind of like value premium between 80 and 150 that just kind of hits the mark and is done really well. Good fit, good finish, just really nice knives that are coming out. So yeah, I don't have much else to say. That is the Kaiser Sub 3 OBK pocket knife, coming in at 154 cm steel, aluminum handles with that matte finish. Really nice. 90 bucks on Amazon. Go pick it up if you want. We will have a link below. As always, those Amazon links support our channel, and we thank you for the support. But until next time, TTFN.